Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I am on my new camera. This is the Canon G7X, everybody. The G7X Mark III. So this is my point and shoot now. So I essentially needed a point and shoot just because this big ass camera, it's very in your face, and if I want to travel through airports and travel easily, this is not the one. So anyone who is savvy with cameras, can you help me out? I have my Canon 80D right here, and I put in any SD card and it says it cannot be accessed, it needs to be formatted. So I try and format it on the camera, it doesn't work. It then says, then obviously one of the options is you need to format it on your laptop. I then put it in my laptop, format it on my laptop, and again it doesn't work. No, sorry, it formats fine on my laptop. I take it out and then put it back in my camera. It then says the same thing. So anyone who's a camera guy out there, help me out. Comment down below. I'm going to try and go see a camera store today. But today, guys, we have a great video for you. We are going to go see the boy Mike Diamonds. I think Brandon Harding is going to be there as well. So it's about 6:30. I've got to drive 2 hours to Birmingham. I'm going to go and get my steps in first, and then take my breakfast with me. Let's go. A lot of people ask me about baby rice. This is the baby rice I use. I use the organics. I've got like 10 boxes just here. The reason why I use it is because you can take it anywhere, right? So obviously I'm traveling 2 hours now to Birmingham. I can throw in like 3 boxes of this baby rice. You literally just need to throw water in, mix it up. You can mix it with protein, and then you got a pretty decent meal. I'm about to leave. Gonna leave something. Scales. Leave my food scales because I'm on top of everything. I mentioned this in my other video when I was getting this bag. This is the douche bag. You can see this little flappy bit at the back. This is all my camera gear, all in there, plus all my gym stuff, all my clothes, any food I need. It's a very, very good time. And what's an even better time is the fucking size of my, I'm joking, let's go. Properly.
Especially Lexus pumping, man. That's mad. How you, my G?
Oh,
God, man.
Mr. Diamonds.
How are you, bro?
Mr. Diamonds. I'm good, man.
Good.
Good, man. We can.
I get that new one, the A7S.
Oh yeah.
And one day cleaning up, I had the camera on my bed. You know, kind of how you raise your blanket, kind of to make your bed.
Yeah.
Bro. Pa!
What, the G7X?
The G7X. I only had this camera for a week.
This is what goes into a good YouTube video. Videographer, YouTuber, talking about the plan before, B-rolls, what we're going to talk about, what we're going to do. This is how we plan shit. We think about it ahead of time.
That whole type of vibe. And then with that title, and then it will look crazy old bang. I feel.
I like that.
Gasping coach.
Right one.
What's up, everybody? A lot of you have been requesting this video for a reverse dieting. It's a big topic at the moment, and there's nothing better than to give you Exhibit A of Mike Diamonds.
Yeah.
So guys, if you've not followed Mike before, please follow him. First link in the description box. We have been acquainted for a very long time now. I traveled over to Moscow years and years ago just to meet this guy, which was awesome. So we got a long history, but we also got a coaching history.
Yeah.
And Mike is someone who has been through a lot of cuts, been through a lot of off seasons, and sometimes it leads to that process of not being able to put yourself in a position where you can cut metabolically. So like, what did you cut from? You cut from, was it December, the first cut?
Yeah, the first cut was December.
So from December for like 12 weeks
To like March.
we hammered it.
Bruh.
And what happened?
So we started the cut. Mistake one is that I decided to take a holiday on there. If you decide to take a cut, plan like ahead. So I decided to go on holiday, probably like 3 weeks into the diet. And then when I went on holiday, first mistake I did was just decide not to eat enough, just to be in a deficit. But obviously your body will adapt to that. So that happened. Get back, and then January, February, March, we're hammering it.
We're talking hours of cardio. We're
So
talking
an hour of cardio a day I was doing.
1700 calories on training
1700
days, maybe
calories.
less on non-training days, no refeeds, and absolutely nothing was happening.
Yeah.
And this is just a perfect example of metabolism just adapting, and having nothing to sustain it to bring it back up.
So in that time, in that 3 months, I'd only lost 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And normally people, you can lose that in your first week, especially
yeah, for sure.
especially like with water weight.
Yeah.
In total, I'd only lost 5.
Yeah, that's mental. It's mental. So for me as a coach, it screams so many things. It screams metabolism isn't there. It screams, in turn, your output isn't there. You know, he hasn't got the food going in to be able to put the effort going out to be able to push you into a deficit. So we had to have that conversation of we're probably not in a position to cut and compete right now, which is a hard conversation.
Yeah. It sucked.
You know, and for someone who's on social media, for someone who's on YouTube, and a huge proportion of like followers and likes and popping happens from being lean.
It was a driving force. I mean, especially for like someone on social media, it's a driving force for like why you should cut.
100%. 100%. So we had that to determine with, but we made the right decision and we reverse dieted. And all this is a really, really easy concept. All you're doing is feeding more energy in, which then translates into more energy out.
Yeah.
But because you're in that position where you are super depleted, you know, I call it primed, depleted or primed, primed because any bit of food we give you, your body goes, thank you, you know? But it's when that amount of food that we give you becomes way more than your body actually needs that your body will gain fat. But if we give you just what you need to be able to improve your performance, it translates into this reverse diet where you end up eating more, training harder, but nothing happens to your weight, and you just get fuller, leaner, stronger. And it's basically because I give you 25 carb extra, that's 100 calories extra, that translates into 110 calories more output. Therefore, you're actually eating 10 calories less on the calorie equation.
So what happens is that there are 3 things that. So first of all, when Josh told me I need to reverse that, I think it took 3 weeks for you to. No, you didn't even convince me. You just told me you're gonna have to do this, and I didn't listen. Eventually, I listened because nothing was clicking. But there were 3 things that did change when Josh gave me calories, and it was actually crazy that it looked, appearance-wise, it looked like I was getting leaner. One thing is that I was a lot more active. So your NEAT increases when you have a lot more food, just naturally. When you're dying down, all you don't want to do is lay down and do nothing.
Consciously or subconsciously.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
So NEAT increased, for sure. 2 is that Josh was like, Mike, lift. Like, go and like, enjoy your session, go lift. Make sure you're trying to like, you know, hypertrophy. Either try and hit PRs or try and hit more reps.
Yeah,
so training was a lot more enjoyable. My mental space in the gym was a lot more enjoyable. It sucks when you cut down because no pump, nothing. So I was training a lot harder, and my physique was also just changing because, you know, your body responds to the stimulus that you're giving it. So my body was changing, and then at the same time, the food I was giving myself was everything that I needed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think when as it was happening and as my body was changing, I was telling Josh that this was my mistake every single year before.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never give yourself that chance. Like we said, metabolism adaptive, but it's not a fucking miracle. So it doesn't go from 1,000 calories a day to 4,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
You have to adapt it. And it's about meeting energy demands the whole time.
Yeah.
So when you reverse, you're increasing your output, but you're increasing your input. And then you get to the point where, okay, yeah, now you're into a surplus, you know, but you've already built all the way up to here. So if you do want to drop back down, you can drop back down, but your metabolism's already up. You know, so it's a really, really cool concept that I think everyone should go through. But heed my warning, it's fucking hard. Yeah. Like, to go from a place where you're mentally starving, food focused, hungry, doing loads, to then actually not be able to stop that and have to taper off. You know, you can speak for yourself. It was hard mentally to do that.
It was so hard. I think reverse dieting is more important than dieting. And I was telling you this, I feel like when you reverse diet, you're set up for your cut. So one thing that you want to do for sure, and that I took a mental note of, because it sucked doing the cardio and not seeing a result. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna fuck myself if I don't fix this. One is eating the foods that you want to eat when you're dieting, and all you should be doing when you ever do get back into a deficit is decreasing the amounts. and like you don't even see it almost physically. You don't feel it because all you're doing is, say you take off 25 carbs, that's a portion of your food that you're eating the foods you already enjoy.
Yeah.
So having like the diet that you're going to eat in your off season should be the same diet that you're having in your on season.
Exactly. Sustainable year round.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we did this whole process. We probably did that for another 3 or 4 months, and you adapted really, really quickly, over tripled the food, and then we said, okay, now we're in a position where we can cut. And as soon as we dropped food, weight dropped.
Bang.
We got that 3 or 4 pounds that we wanted, and it was like, there it was, the penny dropped, the metabolism was back, and we sorted it. Was it optimal? No, we probably still could have gone longer. You probably still could have done 6 to 8 months.
I should have taken the year off, actually.
Yeah, I think you should have done, but
I should have.
But it just shows how quickly this can work if you can stay disciplined on it.
Yeah.
So something like I want you guys to take from this is stay disciplined post competition, because you can see me now post these 2 competitions. I'm eating 3,300 calories a day versus 1,700, and I am at the same weight, the same body fat, and it's all about energy demand. The demand is there for the energy. I'm just feeding it. So yeah, thank you very much, Cindy, for that.
Awesome.
Nice one. Emporium.
What you got? I've been drinking it. Is that the Mark III?
It's the new Mark III, yeah.
Yes! I saw your story, I'm so glad you got it.
Yeah.
And how it's still like crispy. So that's like the wine that's right, yeah.
A little G7X.
You use this like all the time, this is your like pre-workout?
So I have 2 pre-workouts. This pre-workout and MV pre that I will cycle in for big sessions.
MV pre?
Yeah.
The man TM uses that quite often. He's still blocked on Instagram, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not unblocking him.
He messaged me this morning saying
he's gonna watch this above. Oh, you're not getting unblocked, mate. Sorry. I'm in full stim. I'm ready for the tingles.
Oh. I used to be able to do that. Not anymore. Jesus. As you really feel the prep. These boys are like trying to get shots and better lighting, and I'm fucked. I'm literally just like, come on then, come on. So boys and girls, that is the session with the boy Mike, JP, we've got Brandon at the back. It's always an absolute pleasure training with you guys.
Man, it was sick.
It's always a pleasure.
It was a shit workout.
Fucking hate it. It's amazing to see everyone. It's amazing to see this guy, because we don't live in the same country. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Everyone's link just below. Peace and love. I thought I'd jump on here very briefly. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments about training Brandon, but before you guys throw the shade, 3 guys that I was just with, yes, we're there to collab and it's all an exchange of followers and we all benefit from the situation, but you know what, like, we really connected, talked about ideas, talked about creativity and the ideas that these guys go through when they're looking at their thumbnails and their videos. Is truly eye-opening for me, because these guys have got hundreds, like Mike, he's got 300,000+ followers on YouTube, subscribers, and 100,000+ on Instagram. Brandon, 400,000 on Instagram and YouTube. These guys are people to learn from. I remember one time I got some hate because I subscribed to Logan and Jake Paul, and people hate Logan and Jake Paul. Well, guess fucking what? I will respect anyone who can hustle themselves to that many subscribers, make that much money, and remain who they are the whole way through, and that's what these guys are doing. So thank you guys, genuinely. I hope you're watching this. Thank you guys genuinely for having me. It was a real pleasure to have you all down, or to have me down. We got a 2-hour drive home. I'm hungry. I've only got a grenade bar on me. Let's go. Literally just got out of the car. I'm gonna go finish my steps for the day, because this, people, is how you get shit done. I know you guys kind of like my little motivation type thing on the last video. So here's another thing. Here's my tip for you to switch to that winner's mindset. I want you to think of every single thing that you do as a win. For me, when I wake up early, that's a win. For me, when I go out and I get 4,000 or 5,000 steps in the morning, that's a win. For me, when I know I nail my food and my drink on time, that's a win. And you've got to make these things wins, and you've got to turn things that could possibly make you lose into a winner. Today, I had to drive all the way to Birmingham, 2.5 hours. That's 5 hours of driving. Got to get 12,500 steps. Got to make sure my food's in place, all while being collaborative, fun on camera, and to get a session in, etc, etc. You make it work. I brought my food with me. I didn't miss a meal. I didn't miss a step. I did an extra 1,000 steps this morning. I knew I'd come back and have a bit of time now. I had my post-workout protein bar ready in the car. Set yourself up for these wins and use them as momentum. Use them. I can't tell you how important switching to that mindset of making something a win rather than just it happening. You know. Think, fuck yes, I fucking did that. You know, just keep working towards that goal, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We explained reverse dieting. We saw the boys. We filmed enough. I'm gonna get these steps in. I'm gonna get the rest of my food in. I'm gonna chill with the lady. I'm gonna call it a night. Peace, everybody. Don't forget to drop a like. It helps the algorithm. Help your boy. Peace.